Hello everyone, it's Finance and today we're going to address the rumors that Tesla and Elon Musk have sold 10% of their Bitcoin. So guys, what's this whole thing about? Well, the Tesla earnings for Q1 of 2021 came out and there was said that Tesla sold something like $200 million worth of Bitcoin, which would represent approximately 10% of their holdings. So everyone is up in arms now and freaking out that Tesla and Elon Musk are selling all of their Bitcoin holdings and that the whole market's going to crash. But today, if you look here, well, the market is actually still trying to recover past these two support lines, which we'll get into at the very end to give you some short-term price targets for Bitcoin. But back to the news, Dave Portnoy on Twitter calls out Elon Musk and says, so am I understanding this correctly? Elon Musk buys Bitcoin, then he pumps it, it goes up to the moon, then he dumps it and makes an absolute fortune. Listen, I own one Bitcoin, but Bitcoin is exactly who we thought it was. Don't be the last one holding the bag. Well, then Elon Musk came out of the woodworks and said, no, you have completely misunderstood. I personally have not sold any of my Bitcoin. Tesla, the company, sold 10% of its holdings essentially to prove liquidity of Bitcoin as an alternative to holding cash on the balance sheet. And what does that mean? Well, long story short, Elon Musk personally has now confirmed that he personally holds Bitcoin outside of the Tesla company, and he hasn't sold any of that. That's one bullish sign. The second good sign is that Tesla is doing exactly what it intended to do with the Bitcoin, which was to hold it as an alternative to cash, get some return on its investment, and when it needs that cash, to sell accordingly and use that cash for whatever it needs it for, which is exactly what they've done. And if we dig further and we go down to this article, you see that they've only sold, basically here are all the numbers, but long story short, they sold about 10% of their Bitcoin. They're still up massively from when they first bought it. And here's a further explanation from Tesla's chief financial officer about this sale of Bitcoin. So Elon and I were looking for a place to store cash that wasn't being immediately used. So first of all, this is cash that they had sitting on the sidelines, which they just wanted to say, hey, this cash is sitting on the sidelines. We have inflation. We're losing money on it. Let's put it somewhere and let it get us some kind of return. And they said, but we also want to preserve our liquidity. So in the case that we need it, we want to be able to sell it to immediately use the cash for whatever kind of cash needs Tesla has, which are very, very many. And they said that Bitcoin seemed at the time and has so far proven to be a very good decision and a good place to hold some of our cash that's not immediately being used. And in the moment that we need it, we will sell the Bitcoin so that we have access to that cash. So this was seen as a massive success by all of the Tesla executives and is just a further proof that shows that companies can use Bitcoin to pump up their cash reserves a little bit and get some kind of extra return on it. And this is kind of the first major proof of concept of a big company just using this and just holding it on its balance sheet, but still making sure that they're able to sell it whenever they want. So guys, now let's get into the price chart. And please watch yesterday's video if you want to know everything in details. But basically, we are now encountering these two lines of support and we are now in the middle of them. And we're basically waiting to see if we're going to break above this line or we're going to break down below this line. And at the moment, well, it's not looking like we have any kind of clear answers about that. However, guys, let me pull up the volume profile here and zoom out just a little bit. As you see, here we have a huge amount of volume, which is why we bounced down here at this 49,000 US dollar levels. And we are currently coming into the next high section of volume here between about the 58 and the 54,000 US dollar levels. So it's going to be very difficult to break higher here unless people really start buying. And in the moment that we would see a big volume candle here, something like that, well, that's the moment that all of this selling pressure would turn into buying pressure and catapult us above this level, effectively nullifying this whole bearish pattern. But at the moment, we're not there yet. So if Bitcoin, and let me zoom in here, were to close above this resistance line, so let's say at about 57,000 US dollars, well, we would have the beginning of the invalidation of this bearish Wyckoff pattern. So if we were to continue going up and break above this, go down, test again this support line, right? At this point, it would be acting as support. And if we go higher up and break past the previous point here, well, at this point, I would say as well, if we have volume coming in, that this pattern is thankfully invalidated and we can continue expecting Bitcoin to go higher in the future. However, guys, as experienced and patient traders, we need to prepare ourselves for all scenarios. So if this happens, then we do this. If this happens, then we do that. So guys, there is as well the bearish case here, right? Right now, we still don't know. So if we were to not go up here and instead were to break down, test this line, and then continue going down and as well have some kind of volume coming in, well, unfortunately, that is a further validation of this pattern. And as you can see here, if we were to drop below approximately the 56,000 US dollar mark, well, there's no more volume there to support us, guys. So if we break down below this level, unfortunately, we could easily see a drop all the way down to about the 34,000 US dollar level, which would be, a very sad day for Bitcoin, but also an exceptional buying opportunity. So guys, if you ask me, those are the two price levels that need to be watched right now. The 57,000 US dollar level, which would begin invalidating this very, very bearish and scary pattern. And on the downside, we need to make sure we hold the 46 and 47,000 US dollar levels, because if we break down below those, well, we could easily see ourselves going all the way down to 33,000. That being said, I think a lot of institutions will come in and kind of save the day and start buying up. So I don't know if we would go all the way down to 33,000 US dollars, but that would be very, very likely. And regardless of how low we go, it will be a big drop. Thank you all so much for watching. If you got smarter with me today, make sure to smash up that subscribe button and the like button so that YouTube knows that this video is worth sharing with more people and so that you guys get these updates in the moment that I'm putting it out. Thank you guys very much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!